Good evening, everybody, and welcome to yet another match day here at Rocket Soccer Confederation. Here, match day 7 of season 23. I am K-Vox, commentating all of tonight's action with you, along with Rennie Boy. How are you doing? Tell the good people.
I'm doing pretty well. Tonight's just going to be a great night, to be honest with you. I'm kind of pumped up and excited as we get into the matches tonight with
Mm.
these two AMI teams. This is definitely a matchup that everybody's going to want to see. How about
Yeah,
yourself?
I'm always in a good mood when there's good Rocket League to watch. It is the best esport to watch. I have an eye on Rematch. I have a few fighting games I like, but it's Rocket League all the way top of the net. And speaking of top of the net, Winterfresh is going to have a lot to prove tonight when they go up against Amaranth because they had a really rough time in their last streamed match. They want to get a measure of redemption, and they might have the man to do it. Look at I am Link 42, or just Link, we're going to call him for convenience. Played all of season 22 with Amaranth, so knows a ton about this opponent and has probably been briefing Winterfresh all about him.
That's a great, just great information to look at. Uh, That especially when you're playing a team that you used to play for and you know how each of the players utilize their abilities and passing plays. And although it's still going to be a fighting battle, seeing how Winterfresh is got an uphill battle for them tonight as they go against the number one team, not only
Mm.
in their division, but they're also number one in conference.
Oh,
That's
yes.
definitely, yes,
Yeah,
that's going to be the challenge.
Emily has been running a typed ship as captain, and I would not expect anything less. Remember, flowers tend to have thorns. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but, people diss cliches until they prick themselves trying to pick a flower.
I can agree. And it's exciting to see how tonight goes. And I believe all the players have joined. S- I think we are almost ready to get this night on and the Rocket League going.
Yeah, you can never ever wait too long for Rocket League. Here we go. Minty Fresh, Flower Road, Winter Fresh, Amaranth. The clash of the conferences is underway, and potentially a measure of redemption for Winter Fresh. Here we go. Welcome to match day number 7. Any moment now, we are going to see the first kickoff, and I can't wait. I already feel my blood boiling. Can't wait for some good demos and potentially how well Link is going to be able to take advantage of that knowledge of their previous team. Because not only do they know a lot about how their team ran scrims and stuff, but you got to wonder if there's a bit of a personal angle for Amaranth.
I can definitely agree, which is going to make this night an amazing night. As the players are joining, we are now starting kickoff as it is I Am Link going against Emily as I Am Link wins that 50. And it looks like Sardanak Ox launched it classy, trying to take control to the corner. BLKBoy is going for a shot. Oh, they double committed and just put it over the goal. Looks like Link's trying to take some control. Wins the 50 off of Ox, and it's up in the air, and it looks like it's back on the Amaranth side. Emily going for it, and this is, oh my goodness, it's a back and forth already type deal going across from field goal to field goal.
Yeah, you see right now that already Winterfresh is much sharper on the spacing issues, although right now Classy God and Link almost get into a team collision, so might have spoken a bit too soon. Classy a little too high. Backfield demo by Black Boy. Link follows the ball, shoves it, leaves it for chrisofspades, who sends it down pitch, goes into the air, finds the corner. Sardonic's waiting for him. Black Boy is in command. And at the goalpost, needs to have a slightly less awkward name. Please stop making me sound like a Fox News host. Link's waiting, though, finds the gap, sends it on, doesn't find anybody waiting for his pass. Chrisofspades shadowing the long boom, finds Sardonyx. Classy God's waiting for Frinny.
BLKBoy looks like, oh, and he does, I'm assuming that's an intentional fake. Demo on the backside of the blue field. Sardonyx went in the 50 against Link, and it looks like the blue team is trying to find this angle, and both teams are giving it all they got. chrisofspades missing the ball just barely, and Classy God they are doing a whole lot of passing plays, which could end up into another shot. BLKBoy just barely missed it, and it looks like Emily's up. Oh, a double commit on the backfield could be punishable, and it is. Sardonyx is made that shot. My goodness, K-Vox,
Yeah.
that was a great play by Amaranth, and just unfortunate there was a double commit. Even it looked like a triple commit.
I'm not even so sure about that. They were trying to have a wide enough spacing that they could cover every inch of the field. But Emily did a great job of forcing them into an awkward spot where they were able to slap things in. Sardonyx goes towards the corner. Right now his teammates got it. It's going towards the goal again. Is that unintended? It is! BLK second blood already 2 up.
That was just an amazing goal by the Amaranth team, and they now earned themselves a 2-goal lead in less than 10 seconds, which is an amazing feat. And it looks like
That's the third already,
my
BLK.
goodness.
The defensive structure of Winterfresh is falling apart, Rennie boy. They have no rotations right now. Everyone is in the wrong part of the pitch, and Amaranth is just taking advantage. You can understand why this is the #1 team in the conference.
Definitely, as they've gotten literally 3 goals and was still 2:40 left in the game, as Sardonyx trying to get the pass in play. Emily puts it back up, but nobody is there to capitalize on the confusion from the defensive side of Winterfresh. chrisofspades sitting there with the 50. Sardonyx taking control, and it looks like he's trying to carry it upfield. Classy ended up intercepting, and it looks like chrisofspades prevented that launch from going any further downfield, as we see Sardonyx and Emily both up for that. BLK putting it downfield, and it looks like they're trying to anticipate each other at this moment. And
Classy goes for it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, good save from Classy. Brings it up towards the field. Link's shadowing, but the demo breaks the passing attempt. Chris is there waiting for the ball. Link is trying to shadow. You see the rotations waking up from Amaranth, though. Link goes for it again, and you'll notice he's been doing most of the touches for Winterfresh. I think the familiarity is cutting both ways. Amaranth knows how Link likes to play.
That's for sure, and it's definitely, that's what makes the game most interesting, is that both these teams do have somewhat knowledge on how each of them play. Like you said, the Amaranth team knows exactly how Link plays, and Link knows how they play. But they just got to find a groove for this Winterfresh team, as we get a demo on the Winterfresh team side, and it looks like it could have been a shot, but was just too wide right. chrisofspades in the corner, missing it. Classy pushing it off to Link, and it looks like Link was trying to pass to Chris, but Chris just did not go upfield with it as it hits post. Oh my gosh.
We all know that feeling. A perfect shot right there in front of us, but it goes a little too high. He's gonna be kicking himself for that one, but in the meantime, there's a brawl in the corner. Classy tries to take the ball away. Chris crosses him up. The BLK is trying to carry the ball along. They boom it off their own goalpost. Emily backflips away from the play. Right now, Sardonyx is waiting in the corner, goes for it, meets the ball, clears it, 30 seconds left. I think they're running out of time to get anything good going on here. Might need to start considering what happens in their next game.
That's a definite good thing to do, especially when you're now three goals down and 15 seconds left. I mean, it's doable, but it's definitely, and as
4 goals in 10 seconds? I don't think so.
Yes, I don't think so myself either. This might be the time for Winterfresh to rethink their strategy, look back on the rotations, and figure out how they can win more 50s and where they can tighten up in other areas and going into game 2.
Yes, the fortunate thing is that we play through the entire series no matter what. We don't do the best of stuff until playoffs. So as the play is winding down, the ball is killed by Sardonyx off the wall. Not quite enough to get a 5th goal. What adjustments do you think Winterfresh can really make here to have a better turn of it? Because you can already see the score differentials.
Um, if I would have to say they would have to tighten up rotations, and I see a lot of hesitation coming into the with Winterfresh offensive and defensive pressure. And unfortunately, we all have been in that spot where hesitation just causes us goals. And I feel like they probably could run a little bit more communication, as we saw a lot of double, even triple commits, especially on the back half of the Winterfresh team.
A lot of that is Amaranth's pressure too, because they are forcing defensive collapses. Winterfresh is not just doing those triple commits for fun. You're not seeing Classy and Chris just clumping up in there to have a tea party. That is just the sheer pressure Amaranth is putting on, especially their captain Emily.
Definitely, as you see already on the scoreboard, they have, it looks like, what is that, 12 shots on goal just for the first game. That's a lot of offensive pressure. Even any team would feel the pressure of that.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job of neutralizing Link too, because look at that. He only had a score of 50 on that first game, even though he was such a hard charging presence, even though he was constantly at the top of the pack attempting to lead attacks, he was just getting turned away every time.
hmm And that is definitely something that we see Amaranth trying to take advantage of, is that one-on-one situation where they try to put that pressure and cause the Winterfresh team to just hand off or force them to make a play. And it looks like we could see another goal as we're talking about it. They applied the pressure right here and made even the double commit in the team bump. They were still able to pull out a passing play right off the backboard straight down to it's just Sardonyx.
Yeah, that could cost them, though. They have to be a little careful about that because you don't want to be having those kinds of team bumps, even if you do end up with a goal. Emily wins the 50-50 against Chris, not able to follow up. Tries to bump Classy out of the way, but misses wide. Link's waiting for the shot. BLK's in backfield. Chris is cut off by Classy, who loses the 50 and his car to Sardonyx. Emily goes aerial, not quite able to get it. Link whiffs. Classy's following up, carries it towards the net. He finds all 3 defenders in the way. Sardonyx bringing it across midfield. Finds Classy in front of him, but right there's Emily again. Is that going wide? It is. What a save from Linky.
Oh my goodness. And it looks like the pass was there, but nobody was there to capitalize on it. As we see Link win a 50 off of Sardonyx. And Emily putting it back out, Classy pushing it back into the corner. It looks like Link almost had the shot, but it hit the post. chrisofspades taking another shot. That was dangerously close by this Amaranth team. They almost got scored on, leaving it open in the middle like that. As we see chrisofspades taking it off the wall. You got Link and Chris up there, and it looks like, and he puts it left. And this is just, there's a lot of passing going on here between these two teams. Eventually, I see the Winterfresh teams trying to put that pressure, but unfortunately their touches are just, they're not getting to where they need to be.
Yeah, that is entirely the work of Amaranth, who's able to break up these passing chains before they can really form. Although Chris does get the demo there. Well-timed Link not able to follow up, not quite able to get the shot. Chris follows up again. It goes towards the corner, towards the left side of the post. Sardonyx clears, follows it towards the wall, gets it off the wall, gets the play, sends it down to Emily. She's not able to get there. chrisofspades sends it airborne. Link's waiting on the ground, dodges a bump attempt, sends it along, but BLK's waiting for it. BLK versus Classy. Classy clears it away. Emily's waiting, and this is turning into another brawl in the corner. Rennie, we're seeing a lot of those. chrisofspades is a wide look, though. Can he get it in? No!
That was just an amazing save by BLK. He was there exactly where he needed it. And there we were just talking about rotations, and it seems like Amaranth is in a very good rotational vibe. as you could say. It looks like Sardonyx is putting it in the corner as a pass to the middle. chrisofspades trying to get it out there, and unfortunate enough for Winterfresh, Amaranth was nowhere to be found for that pressure. Link putting it up, and it looks like Sardonyx is up as he tries to put a shot on goal. Classy just puts it out of there. Link going for it. The BLK.
Oh, that's open. That's open. That's open. Oh, saved by Classy.
That was just an amazing save. These two teams are definitely putting up a better game than first game. It's a much closer game. Oh, as Sardonyx almost had the redirect, and I'm telling you, these saves are great, and it's becoming a better game in game 2 than it was in game 1.
They're certainly trying their best. I mean, they're being held to a 1-0 difference. Chris is not able to get the pass in time. Classy goes for it, misses it too. Chris sends it airborne. Who is waiting for it? That's Sardonyx again. Brings it across the pitch. Classy's heading into it. Gets the ball, but Emily's right there. So is BLK, who gets another shot angled off. Too wide, though. Right to Chris, who finds Emily there. This is turning into a clash of rotations where everyone has their man marked. This is very much man-to-man Rocket League.
And it's definitely showing, as we've seen a lot of one-on-one fights over control for the ball. As we see Sardonyx actually launch it, Link recovering to get it, BLK pushing it back and forth. And we are seeing a whole lot of back and forth as they're just passing the ball back and forth across the field as we got 30 seconds left. Can they get a goal? And it looks like Winterfresh actually scored their first goal, I believe, of the series too. That was an amazing play by Classy and Link.
Oh, that was beautiful, cooperative Rocket League, and eventually the fortress does have to crack open if you knock on the gate enough times. Right now, the early kickoff is in Winterfresh's favor, but not for long. Link already sending it up. Classy clears it away. Let's see if he's able to capitalize.
It looks like Emily was up, and oh my goodness. And we had a double commit from the Winterfresh on Sardonyx as they capitalized on the confusion. Backfield. Link puts it in the goal. 13 seconds left of the game, and it looks like Winterfresh finally found their groove to put another one in the back of the net. That could have possibly been the winning goal for this game, but there's still time. There's plenty of time, 10 seconds to get one goal.
Yeah, we've seen much faster things happen, but at this rate, it might well not come to pass. BLK gets against Classy, gets it by him. Chris is waiting for it, gets it airborne. Is he going to kill it? Classy sends it off the wall to the... No, Sardonyx keeps it airborne. How long can this last? Classy knocks it by him. Emily sends it into the air. It's up high along the corner wall. Emily tries, gets it airborne again, but Sardonyx can't get to it. Winterfresh ties up the series.
That was definitely an amazing game. As we go into game 3, we're looking at a series of 1-1 right now.
Yeah, very much of come from behind moment for Winterfresh. They have to be feeling very good about those 2 goals, spearheaded by Link.
Now,
potentially some of that knowledge I was talking.
Well, as we go into game 3, this is going to be, I'm telling you, this is going to be a great game. I'm kind of curious because it looks like Winterfresh has finally found a groove for them to bring in that 1-goal lead on Amaranth. As you saw first game where Amaranth was pushing it, and it looked like Winterfresh is starting to push back.
Yeah, but we'll have to see how well they can maintain that momentum because they have to be careful. You see them clumping up a lot in the game replays, and the points do show that they were much more productive, especially Link with 443 points, but it's not all just your personal scoreboard. As we go into our third game, still at DFH, and we'll see how they adjust because if they focus too much on that kind of aggression and on pushing the press, they could just be leaving their backfield wide open.
And that is something you don't want to do, is leaving that backfield wide open, because it leaves the potential to leave in an open net, which open nets are one of the hardest shots to make in Rocket League. as we see Sardonic right there going for the net, and it barely hits the post. He tried to get the angle and just could not get it. chrisofspades putting it up there for Link. Emily intercepting, and here we are going back and forth again as Classy misses it. chrisofspades taking it to the corner, and it looks like he's trying to build that momentum. As we saw, this is becoming an amazing game of going back and forth between the two teams, and it looks like Winterfresh is now starting to build the confidence they need to make the shots, win the 50s, and gather the saves that they need to in order to keep this Amaranth team on their toes.
Yeah, BLK brings it into the corner, clears it far across the crossbar. You've got a triple commit in front of the net for Winterfresh. Link sends it far away. Right now, BLK's there again. Link tries to get it, does get it. Sends it high, a little too high. Link follows up on his own play, not trusting the team, turning in on the same play. Classy gets the oh, I'm sorry, that was actually Sardonic taking Link out off the field. The cars all converged at once. It was a little hard to tell. Sardonic tries to take the ball away from Classy. Finally, it's BLK who clears it away. Link's waiting for it, sends it high. See how his aerial game develops. Sends it down, tries to get it linked up with chrisofspades. Not quite able to get there. Sardonic with the save. Brings it up the pitch. Link's cutting in again, clears it, and you see this incredibly aggressive rotation style from Link, where he is just cutting in on his own plays extremely quickly, and it works out this time with the goal.
Definitely, you see Link putting the pressure on the Amaranth defense, and it may not be him alone, but he's just being a bother on the defensive backfield for the Amaranth team, which can help out the team a lot. As we go for kickoff for Sardonic, winning the kickoff. Link taking control over it again, or attempting to take control over it. He's waiting for the touch, and it looks like BLK won the 50, and Emily's going for the shot. That was an amazing shot. Unfortunately, it just could not bounce off Classy's car the way it needed to be.
Yeah, and that was just a moment of pixels from the defender there. Emily had the perfect angle. That's the kind of passing play you see in RLCS qualifiers, my friend.
Definitely. That was an amazing play by this Amaranth team, as we almost had another goal by chrisofspades, but it barely bounced off the post. And it looks like Emily wins the 50, but it's dangerous, and a Link goes for another goal. This man is exactly where he needs to be. His rotations may be aggressive, but he is always there ready for the shot.
See what I mean about forcing a defensive collapse, because what you had right there was all three Amaranth defenders spaced out, pretty much parked in front of the net. There was only so much either one of them could do. They had no momentum. Link's already waiting with another long clear. This time Sardonic stops it from turning into a shot. Link has the opportunity, misses it. Emily goes by it. Sardonic's shadowing it, trying to get it away from Link. They get it into the corner. Classy goes ahead. Chris is right behind him, has to turn away from the play. Follows up, but Sardonic gets it by him, wins the 50. Classy sends it airborne to keep it away from BLK, who follows up anyway, tries to get it to Emily, not quite able to get there. Oh, BLK tries to bump in the goal, not quite able to make anything happen there. Classy has it now. Can he get it past Sardonic? No, he can't, Rennie.
And chrisofspades is actually taking control. He's actually trying to maneuver the ball for a center, and it looks like Sardonic went to intercept, and it was just too ahead of the play as chrisofspades went for the fake. Nobody's there to intercept it. Emily launching it out of the danger zone for the Amaranth team. As you see Sardonic taking control over it. chrisofspades fighting for it in the corner, popping it up. BLK right there, and that's a shot. My goodness.
A beautiful dunk from BLK. Let's look at this again. Sardonic sends it up high. BLK spots the defensive spread, immediately gets it past Classy, just dunking it in, bouncing it off the pitch floor into net. That is exactly how they drew it up.
And that was definitely a good play, especially the offensive pressure that they kept putting on the Winterfresh team, which gave them that goal right there to tie up the game at 1 minute and 30 seconds. It looks like BLK went to take control and just accidentally lost it. It looked like BLK put it to the corner, Emily trying to charge on it. Sardonic taking control over. He's air dribbling, and it's a shot. Could they get there to save it?
They do.
Oh my gosh. Sardonic with the shot, and that's just a great shot coming from this Amaranth team as they took the lead for game 3.
This is a very smart adjustment from Amaranth. They have noticed that they are better in the air. They're consistently winning the aerial exchanges, and Winterfresh doesn't really have much of an answer for them. Not as at the level you would expect from this tier of Rocket League. Classy's waiting for the ball as it comes down, but as you see, not a lot of aerial challenges. The players on Winterfresh are largely waiting for the ball to come down and trying to meet it there.
Definitely, as we see, oh my goodness, it looks like Winterfresh is trying to get that offensive pressure going again as we see Link intercepting Emily, and oh my goodness, it almost was a shot. It was just a tad too much to the left. BLK trying to control it. Emily launching it towards the goal, and it looks like Link is going to try to take control. Gets it over one, and it looks like it
that's
could be
open.
another goal. Oh my goodness.
Link equalizing. Look at this, Rennie. He gets it along the corner. He follows it. His defender's not able to get it. Had the opportunity to send it away. Then you've got the goal bump from his teammate, and then just wide open. That was absolute perfectly coordinated aggression, and we'll see how well he can follow up on it. Chris is trying to get the ball away from Emily. Both of them don't have any boost to work with. It's stuck in the corner. Link's the only one in the trio who has boost. Gets it away, loses it to BLK, but that's going too high to do anything with. You see an attempted aerial challenge, but no boost to work with. Still only Link really has much to talk about. Oh, that might go in. No, it's a little too wide. BLK waiting for it. We're gonna have our first overtime of the evening, everybody.
That is an amazing. This is turning out to be a great game 3, as we saw Amaranth take game 1 and then Winterfresh taking game 2. What are your predictions as far as how they do in game 3 overtime? Who do you think has the ability to actually overtake this game and win game 3?
Obviously, anything can happen in Rocket League, and overtime is when it gets harshest because there's no more room for error. Every little move means magnitudes now, and it is just so much harder on players psychologically. But I am noticing that Winterfresh are very devil-may-care with their boost, and you don't want to be in that kind of situation in overtime where all three of you are boost starved. Classy fills back up. Link is waiting for the ball, tries to send it along, but great defensive rotations from Amaranth to get it towards the pitch. Chris is there with the save, but right back to BLK, gets it towards the corner boost, sends it up again, trying to set it up for Emily, but she's not going to have an opening.
As we see Sardonic actually taking control of the ball, chrisofspades putting it up there, and it looks like it's right in the middle of the goal. Sardonic there to block the shot by Classy, and it looks like Link is taking control. We have seen this man take control of this ball and run it down the field, and I'm just amazed at the work that these teams are putting in. Link taking control of the ball once more. Sardonic putting it back in the blue corner. chrisofspades trying to put control, wins the 50 over BLK. Emily coming in to take the shot. Oh, and she got bumped by Link. BLK right there, and oh my gosh.
That was an own goal, Rennie. Look at this again. Emily sends it up, carries it along the corner. Typical Rocket League. You see Classy miss, and then Chris tries to catch the ball, but he's not quite at back post, so he ends up catching it on his own bumper and knocking it into his own net. Nobody wants to drop a game like that. He's got to be hanging his head right now.
That's definitely something hits your confidence level, especially since in overtime, it's something that could have maybe been prevented if they would have turned in just a little bit more or tightened up their rotations in the corner. It was just an unfortunate play and unfortunate reaction for Winterfresh to have an own goal in overtime.
Well, that's what I was talking about, letting the pressure get to them, letting themselves run low on boosts, letting themselves clump up too much, and you could see that a lot of the time, Chris was hanging out in the net, which we all know you don't really want to do because you don't have really any options except for hoping the ball comes straight at you. So we'll see how well they adjust here, but they've got to tune up the rotations because that was a game they were within hairs of winning, and they're thinking we shouldn't have dropped that one, especially Link, who was on fire.
Definitely, because Link, as we're looking at the scoreboard, he has got a 75% shot, a goal for he shot 4 times and made 3 goals. That alone is amazing in itself. And as we go into game 4, the things could get even more heated as we possibly could see more demos, more aerial plays, more pass plays. That's a whole lot we haven't seen, is a lot of demos in this series.
We've been seeing the physical play, and I wonder which of them is going to try more of the Woody or Rocket Sledge approach. Right now, nothing doing in that regard. Classy sends it up, but BLK's right there for it. Chris circles back. Link tries to go up, manages to catch it in the air, but no one's really there to follow up on it except for Sardonyx, who takes it as a gift. Classy's there to knock it away, but Emily's right there catching it. Wins the 50 with Classy, wins it with Link, but Chris is waiting for it, can't get it through all 3 defenders. Too high.
That was an unfortunate hit to the rail as we see the Amaranth team trying to make a play. Oh my goodness, it was almost there, but the post kept it. As we see these teams trying to get more physical as the game goes on. BLK trying to take control. chrisofspades definitely dunking it past BLK, and it looks like there could be a possible shot as Link keeps it back and keeping the Amaranth team pressured. He's keeping it right there by the goal. As you see Classy push with the back pass, chrisofspades winning that 50. It looks like chrisofspades just has got 3 50s back to back that he has just dominated.
Right now, you also see them trying to starve Amaranth the boost. There's not a lot of open boost pads all on Amaranth's side of the pitch right now, and they're also really exclusively focusing on the big pads, which can be very dangerous, especially when you've got Emily stuck in backfield. They cut into their own rotation. Classy knocks it off the corner, gets it by Emily. That's a long clear. Who's waiting for it? Chris wants it, but Sardonyx gets it, sends it high. Emily has full tank. Sardonyx gets his own ball, passes to himself, can't get the shot. Classy goes for it, doesn't get it. Chris is trying to shadow the pit play now, Rennie, but is he going to get it? Sardonyx knocks it away. I was telling everybody how Amaranth has been better in the air.
Definitely, they have been pretty much winning in as far as the aerials go, and oh my gosh, and it looks like the Winter Fresh defense is starting to catch on to what this Amaranth team can do in the air, and BLK loses the 50 against Classy. Emily sending it up, Sardonyx taking it up the wall as he tries to pass it to himself, it looks like, and it was just an unfortunate loss of control there. chrisofspades passing it back up there, BLK taking control, getting it past one defender, and it looks like, oh, he barely missed it. That's definitely one thing that that really affects you, is when you flip past the ball right there and nobody contesting it.
Right, nobody quite able to contest it. Emily gets a long clear, but Link's right there, sends it towards the corner. That could have been a shot. Sardonyx knocks it away. Link has no boost to capitalize, steals the corner boost. As I was speaking, Emily carries the ball. Classy's right there for it. Emily tries to go for it, has to content herself with a corner boost. BLK waits for the ball. Chris gets it by him. They are all converging on it. Link has an open look. Is it going to go anywhere too high again? BLK jams it to stop it. Emily's trying to carry it, carries some corner boost, gets it over Link. Chris is waiting for a long save, sends it on to Classy, who can't quite catch it. Pretty.
And these teams are fighting hard, K-Vox, and they are trying to make sure that they play their rotations correctly and just keep the other team feeling pressured. This is definitely a lot closer games than we have seen. Even in Game 3, nobody has scored a goal in Game 4, which shows that these teams can definitely adapt. As we see BLK with the pass and the
Oh, he follows up.
Oh my gosh!
That was beautiful from BLK. Let's see that again. He goes off onto the corner, gets it by chrisofspades, sends it airborne. He doesn't rotate back. He bumps his defender out of the way, and he's right there to knock it into the net again. That is what the physical element is that we were talking about.
That was definitely a great play, and I think there was also, after he bumped, that there were two defenders that got bumped. One got bumped into the other, and that just shows that even simple bumping plays can definitely matter whether you make a shot and get a goal or not.
Yeah, it's not all about shot goals. It's not all about demos. It's about displacing your opponents and their formation and keeping their teamwork out of whack, keeping their synchronicity down. Right now, King of Spades gets it by the defense. It's chrisofspades with the equalizer. 30 seconds left. Sardonyx laid his own grave. chrisofspades just had all the room he needed.
That was definitely a good counter by this Winterfresh team, as now we are back at a tied game, which we could see go into overtime if Sardonyx couldn't get there. Emily take another shot. It's far, it goes way right, and BLK putting it back in their corner as he looks like he's about to rotate out, and Sardonyx, he's going for the shot. Oh my gosh, and it just hit crossbar. It looks like we might be seeing an overtime in Game 4.
We are indeed. Welcome to Bonus Rocket League. This is going to be the final game. You see Link going for the corner boost in the back. A bit of a jam, but look, no one's there. Emily tries to capitalize, sends it across goal. No one goals this time, but a bit of a traffic jam in front of net. BLK tries to capitalize, sends it back to Emily, who sends it on to Sardonyx, who carries it up the wall, gets it by Chris. There's a double commit in net. Nobody can save it. Sardonyx sends it in. Amaranth wins.
That was an amazing shot by Sardonyx as he carried it, and I didn't think he was going to be able to get the touch. It seemed like he was going to lose his foot there for a minute.
He did not indeed. He had nothing to worry about there and very much earning the MVP of that game. Look at his stat line, 415 points, a goal, 2 saves, 6 shots, a demo, leading the entire pitch in touches. He was wherever Amaranth needed him to be in this Game 4.
And what an amazing Game 4 that was. And as we come to the closure, it looks like Amaranth will be walking away with a 3-1 victory tonight. If you had to choose an MVP, K-Vox, who do you think would be the MVP?
Honestly, probably BLK, because he was always keeping Winterfresh on their back heels. He was wherever the team needed him. Sure, there were individual contributors in specific games who did more or a little less. For example, right now with Sardonyx in Game 4. But BLK was always the problem they had to account for with the aerial attacks, with the corner plays, and his synergy with Sardonyx was out of this world, too.
I see. Myself personally, I would have to go with Link. Link was there when he needed him. If you notice, whenever Link did good, they were right there and able in winning reach. And I just have to say, Link played a good game with his teammates against his old Amaranth team.
Yes, but that's the cost of it. That's what I was talking about with how familiarity can cut both ways, because it very much looked like Amaranth knew the kind of player they were up against, which I'm not surprised after he spent an entire season with them. And Winterfresh has to consider this a moment of reckoning. They had a rough time in their last stream match. They go down 3-1 here. They're going to be in that E locker room thinking, okay, we need to change something structurally. We need to go over VODs. We need to go into ball chasing. We need to scrim more and figure out how to fix what's missing, especially that aerial game.
Definitely, because if you can't win 50s in the air and you can't win the 50s on the ground, that alone can cost a game, especially when there's a lot of physicality going on, especially on both halves.
Yes, and not even just winning or losing the 50s, but Amaranth had so much room to just go almost uncontested up in the air. And meanwhile, Winterfresh is either waiting on the ground or they're getting in each other's own way. That's what decided that final overtime.
That is a definite, as it was still a great game for, but just unfortunately this might be time for, like you said, Winterfresh to take some time and figure out what they can do better.
There's still a lot of Rocket League to play on the season, still a lot of time for them to turn this around. And of course, Amaranth are #1 in the conference for a reason. Just because it's the amateur league doesn't mean these are amateurs you're dealing with. These are very, very strong players.
Yes, I can 100% agree. And as you said, there's plenty of Rocket League to go and plenty of ways to figure out what they can do better.
Yeah, and if you want to take part in some of that Rocket League that's ahead of us in season 23, don't forget you can sign up to be in a streamed match. I know the time slots can be a little tough for people. We're all adults here, or heaven forbid you might be in high school and being up at 11:30 p.m. is really out of the question. But if you find yourself with the time, if this is something you want to do, you want to get some reps in, you want to have some dulcet tones of people like K-Vox and Rinny talking about your gameplay, go on and sign up. You've got nothing to lose. Rinny?
Oh, sorry. My mic went crazy there for a minute. I apologize. It but yes, definitely. And that was a great series, and we hope to see you guys back here once again. It's a great league for everybody to play.
This is exactly the kind of thing they do over in Europe to really grind up their stars, to raise the level of the sport, especially in France. Huge grassroots scene over there. And that's the kind of thing that will allow NA Rocket League to grow and flourish and prosper. Some of the names you see on RSC streams might be leading open qualifiers one day. Some of these guys are definite Team 3 threats. But speaking of Day 3, not Team 3, I've been K-Vox. This has been Rennie Boy. We'll be seeing you next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for more RSC action. Thanks for tuning in.